Welcome, welcome, welcome back to the G Spot with your host, Dr. G. Alpha Palmer. I'm excited to be with you once again, and I'm excited about what we're going to talk about in this session because I believe that it's a really important idea that must be talked about. So, yes, we're gonna get right into it. I'm hoping that my microphone acts right here. It doesn't seem like it wants to. What can you say? You just got to do it as you. All right, we're gonna keep going here. All right, we see how this goes. We'll see how this goes. So, uh, greetings, everybody. Move this out the way a little bit. Hopefully, this will work. We're hoping that it will. Okay, we're still working on our studio, so it's going to take us some time to get where we need to get. It's going to take some time, and we're going to continue to move forward as we go. I think it's important that we uh, just get out here because it's just like that. We just have to get out here. Um, today's topic is to us the whole idea um, how to search for a mate, and that's what we're gonna discuss. Put it in the chat here. It's just so. How do you search for a mate, or do you search for a mate? How do you go about securing a mate, if that's the proper term? Some people would have some problem with the idea of searching for a mate. I get it as well. So let me see if I can get things situated here. Okay, I like my little background back there. Okay, so we're going to talk about searching for a mate, if that's really what we're supposed to be doing. Um, Again, this is directed toward um, the fellas, the guys, and it's important for you to understand some things relative to um, this whole notion of you know searching for. Do we go out and find her? Well, if you were reared in the church like I was, we heard over and over again, "He that findeth a wife finds a good thing." We know that particular foundation, that particular verse, has been something that we've used for a long time. And what it is in that verse, we've made a whole doctrine around it, and I'm a firm believer that you could make a doctrine over one scripture of anything within the biblical narrative, but I think that's dangerous. I think you need to have at least two or three to substantiate your point of reference of what you secure as being true or what have you, or as being legitimate. So I want to come to you um, with that in mind, to understand that this whole idea of searching for a mate is something that religion has taught us. It has taught us to search for a mate, and many of us have been. Some of us have going out here looking and searching, and some of us haven't. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. This whole notion. Again, I want to just welcome you to the G Spot, and this is a place where we find great support, purpose, opportunity, and transformation. Though all those are very important concepts, and that's why the things that I want to share are covered in those four principles. Um, and so actually five, because it's great. So great support, great purpose, great opportunity, and great transformation. And so this is what we hope to accomplish through these broadcasts, through these um, uh, classes. I don't know what you want to call it, sessions, whatever. As a therapist, what I've done over the decades is to basically try to help people um, to analyze and to determine with help through different means the best version of themselves. And so in this session, I want to uh, hopefully, speak to guys and say, look, the best version of yourself relative to searching for a mate. Here's some information that you can consider. Whether you do that or not is totally up to you. But the bottom line is, here's the information. So what we're going to talk about is the whole idea of, it's important to understand that whenever a person has a premise, or they have something that they believe, it's important to understand where their foundation, where have they obtained that particular thing that you believe. Why do you believe it, and where did you get that from? And that's important because many times people believe things and they have no idea where it's come from. They can't differentiate something that they dreamt up, or is it documented somewhere. For me, I try to keep things not in my own opinion, but I try to use source material that I think that is very viable and reliable to substantiate my point, or um, another point. Okay, so when it comes to this issue of searching for a mate, I think that it's important that we understand some things. First of all, it's important to understand that that ladies, you come in, you have three developmental processes. You have three developmental processes, and within those processes, there are three stages. There's an early, middle, and late. So the three stages is a child, is a um, female, and a woman. That's very important. Child or baby, and within those, again, there's three subcategories. Then there's the female, three subcategories, and then the woman, three subcategories. Here's the developmental process of ladies, you in the earth. Now, why is that important? Because it's important for the guys to know in going out and mating. Okay, and it's also important for you to know because it's the same process goes along with males or men or whatever you want to call them, and that's we come in as babies or boys, and we come in at we develop into males, and then we further develop into men. Now, both of these, for her and him, for both of them, it's important to understand that the progression into these different categories and subcategories is not dependent on physical growth and development. Those are subcategories or subcauses, but the primary reason for progressing or maturing through these processes, these stages and subcategories, is that you develop mentally, psychologically, and emotionally. That gives you the green light to continue on. If you don't, then what happens is you get stunted at certain stages. That's for both of us, guys and gals. We both can get sidetracked we can get stunted in our developmental growth. And what happens is, because we get stunted in that growth stages, what happens is we can physically continue to grow and mature, but we're not emotionally. And that's the problem. Many of us are selecting mates who are not mentally, emotionally, and psychologically mature. They haven't grown up. You can have, and again, as ladies, you can have a grown, what we call man, right? And physically he's a grown, mature specimen of a man, right? But he can be, his growth mentally, emotionally, and psychologically could be stunted in his malehood. And we talked about some of the masculinity things in some of our earlier broadcasts. So he can be stunted. He can be stunted in his growth. And if he's stunted in his growth, you're thinking that you've got a certain type of person, and you don't. And that's where the mistake lies. And that's where we have problems in relationships. Okay. So now let's talk about, guys. I'm coming back to you. Let's talk about this biblical narrative that talks about he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing. Why is that so important? Well, let's look at, and one of the things that I think is important is this. The biblical narrative in the English version or in the English language is very misleading, and to the point that it can cause problems. That's why it's important to go back and to research. The biblical narrative says to search the scripture, search the narrative to see if those things be true. It's important that we search, and the way that we do that is we have to go back and we have to identify the language. We have to identify the sentence structure. We have to even look at the times in which it was written. There's certain characteristics that go into searching. Many of us don't. We just take one verse and go and we fly with it because it says what it says. Well, one thing we've got to understand, the biblical narrative is not the word of God. I know that one's gonna sting. It is not the word of God. See, the biblical narrative is not the word of God because it is a teaching tool to help us to mature and to grow and to learn how to listen. It's like you learn how to listen, to recognize the voice of your favorite radio station or your favorite disc jockey or your favorite or your mate. So when someone says to you, yeah, this person said so and so and so, and you know, based on your relationship that you've developed, that doesn't sound like them. And so what it says is, and what the Bible does is gives us the tenor, the bass, and the treble of how to tune into our favorite station and learn and to listen to the realm of spirit to begin to gain and to understand what it is that spirit is saying. So what the biblical narrative is a training document. It helps us. It's like a manual on how to tune in to that station that we want to listen to. Okay. So, but you need to understand that there has to be more than just one verse. And I'm getting off track because, well, not really, because I need you to understand this. I know a lot of people out here saying, I'm not into the Bible. I'm not. Well, what are you into? What solidifies your belief? Because I'm a firm believer that science and spirit they don't bump heads. I believe they support each other. So I believe in science. I do. I believe in science. But I also believe in spirit. I believe that it's important that we understand that one supports the other, and one is the cause of the other. You can't have physical or science without a causation. and the causation is spirit. Okay, so let's look. Let's talk about, because it's important in finding that mate, in finding that significant other. What we've got to do is we've got to understand that when we talk about the word, when we research the word, he that findeth a wife, that word wife literally means the same word that it means woman. Now that's important, fellas. It's important because you can find a female. It's easy to find females, okay? But it's important to understand that the word findeth doesn't mean that you go searching for her. What it means is that you will encounter her. See, the thing is about a wife or a woman is that she's not easily. You can go searching your whole life and not find her, but you will encounter a woman or wife, because those words are the same words. You will encounter her, and it's important to understand that you will, if you're going about doing your life and building and securing, okay, and moving about doing what you're supposed to do as relative to your purpose. Believe me, you will happen upon her. Now, she is not a female. If you look at Proverbs 31, it tells you about this woman. And we're going to talk about her when we start talking about femininity and what it really looks like, and what we've been accustomed to. Femininity really is not femininity. It's feminism. It's feminist. It's the feminist movement. Thank you. It's the feminist movement. It's not femininity. There's a difference. Femininity is a universal principle, whereas feminist is a a term or a idea that some have thought up here, and they don't mix. They really don't. But the guy that goes out and finds it, he's not going out searching for a wife. He's doing his business. He's fulfilling his purpose. And as he does, he detects her. He discovers her. And when he discovers her, he needs to make a decision, because the bottom line is this, and I've heard this said by other people, that men determine relationship. Men determine relationship. And if we want to marry, it's up to us as men to decide whether we want to marry or not. So when you happen upon this pearl of great price, this woman, this 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 Proverbs 31 woman, right? When you come upon this virtuous woman that is not easily found, huh? She's not easily found, but she's out there. When you happen upon her, you're going to need to make a decision. And it says, "He that findeth a wife findeth a good thing." Now that's the mistake. She's not a thing. When you happen upon her, she's not a thing. Even in the biblical narrative, that word thing is italicized, which means that it was added in the English version. So basically it says, when a man finds a wife, he finds good. And that word good means beneficial. He finds something that's beneficial, not a thing, but he finds someone who is beneficial. That's the thing that you need to understand. The wife that you've come upon, she's going to be beneficial to you. Now, if she doesn't want to be beneficial to you, she is not for you. She's not for you. There are ladies out there who are in own woman physical bodies, but she's not a woman. She's a female. And a female, like a male, is under or undeveloped mentally, emotionally, and psychologically. You can hear it in the way they talk. You can hear it in how their priorities are. Okay? And so when you happen upon this special jewel, this wife, this masa in the Hebrew is the word masa. Masa is the same word that you find for the word. I'm sorry, it's not the word masa. Masa is the word for fine, but the word for a woman is issa. Issa is the same word for woman and the same word for wife. They're the same. She is a woman. Your wife is a woman. She's not a female. And if you happen upon a woman, she is going to be that one that's going to be able to stand with you. If she doesn't want to stand with you, she's not your wife. You have to be selective in how you go about making a decision to make her your special lady. So it becomes critical, men, and it's even critical for the women as well. And we'll talk about that when we start talking about the femininity. So it says that he that findeth a wife findeth good and finds favor. Okay, now it's important. Favor, she when you find her, the two of you are going to bring about a synergy that's going to bring about favor. It's going to bring about acceptance. It's going to bring about pleasure. It's going to bring about delight. It's going to be a good thing. Not a thing, but a good experience. It's going to be a good exchange. It's going to flow. You're going to know her. You're going to recognize her when you come upon her. But what we want to do is because of a physical makeup, we make decisions. When in all actuality, she is not the one just because she has the physical attributes that you are looking for. Because just like she has the physical attributes, but not the emotional, psychological, and the intellectual dynamics, there's someone out there that has she's a full package. She is. And if you continue to go about doing and fulfilling what you're supposed to be doing in life, she will appear. It's like that old, it's like that old adage that says that when the student's ready, the teacher will appear. When the man is ready, she'll appear. You'll happen upon her. You won't have to go searching for her. You don't have to. And what men are doing is religion has told us that we've got to go search for her. And we're looking and looking, and when we find somebody that's pleasing, aesthetically pleasing, we choose her. And it's pure hell in the relationship. Because it wasn't the right one. It wasn't the right one. You know, and I hear people talk about her being my rib. What do you mean she's your rib? See, what we don't understand what it really means to have her to be the rib. What we want to do is we want to be the big old macho that we're going to take care of her. Let me tell you something about this woman. She is equal to you, brother. She's equal to you, but she's not the same. See, that's the thing that we've got to understand. She's not weak. She's not. She's far from weak. A woman is far from weak. You better bring your A game. You better be ready. That's why you got to have your ducks in a row and be ready when you happen upon her. You don't get ready. You got to be ready. And the way you be ready is to be about doing purpose and fulfilling purpose, because purpose is the reason why you're here. And when you happen upon her, and when you secure her or detect her, or when you discover her, when you encounter her, you'll know it. But it'll be deeper than the physical. It has to be. Because the physical is going to fade, brothers. Gravity is undefeated. Time is undefeated. So it has to be more than just physical attributes, right? But let's talk about this rib. Let's talk about this rib. And what she really supposed to bring. Okay. It says that Adam was put to sleep and there was a rib taken from him, and that rib was taken away, and the universe or the creator formed. Okay. He formed and fashioned her and brought her back. It wasn't Adam who made her. Uh-huh. No, not Adam. The creator made this virtuous woman. She doesn't need any altering. She doesn't need any fixing, brother. She doesn't. And here's the catch. Here's the kicker. The word rib is the word selah, selah, and it's a verb. It's see, the important thing is to understand the forms of speeches when you study. The word rib is not a physical thing. It's a verb. It's an action. It's an action. It's something that we do to a noun. A verb is an action word, right? That's acted upon, or the noun acts it out. Okay. So what this virtuous woman, right? This virtuous woman does something. See, what a lot of these females want is for you to do something for them. They want you to take care of them. And what we do is we want to guard, govern, and protect them. And I get that. But what you've got to understand is she is very much capable. And so what we've got to understand is a lot of people have taken the biblical narrative and made it a misogynist narrative. She's equal to you, but not the same. And if she's looking for you to take care of her, you do not have a woman. You have a female. She doesn't know who she is. Now, the thing about a woman, if you look at a virtuous woman, she's not arrogant. She's respectful. And there are some of these women that are acting like they have it all together, and they're very disrespectful. They're very dishonoring. That is not a woman. That is a feminist. And a feminist is not a virtuous woman. See, a virtuous woman designates who she is. Virtuous woman. She's virtuous by virtue of the fact of the characteristics that she holds. We're going to talk about those things. But one thing that she's not is arrogant. This whole idea of being a queen. A queen is not the will or the idea of the creator. It's not. A queen and a king owns nothing. The only thing that a king or a queen has done is that they, through treaties, through war and violence, have obtained land, power, and they don't have loyalty from the people. The people are just following because they have power. But know this for a surety. As soon as the people find out someone else that has greater power influence, they're gone. See, the thing about this whole idea of being a queen holds that whole feminist idea, holds that whole idea of you have to serve me. But see, but the rib, that word selah, it actually means the action to help and aid in walking. It talks about helping the man who has a limp. Every man has a limp in his walk. He needs another set of eyes to help him say, no, that doesn't look right. That's what you need. And that's what you'll get with a virtuous woman. But it's not with the arrogance. It's the support. It's the support. Her role is to help you in the areas where you're limping, to help you where your limbs are short or not acting or operating properly. She helps you to become greater. And if she's not doing that, you've got the wrong one. So how do you search for her? You don't. How do you find her? You don't. Not in the way that we've been taught by religion. You don't. What you do is you go about fulfilling purpose, the reason why you were born and the thing that you're supposed to be doing. It's not business. It's about the plan of the Creator. We're going to talk about it. And as you fulfill your purpose, she will materialize. You will detect her. You will discover her. Yeah, you will encounter her. Well, I've gone well over than I normally do, and I think it's important that we gain a better understanding of um, this whole idea of searching. And as we continue to move out and to um, fulfill purpose, we'll find her. Well, that's going to be it for today. This session, that's going to be it. And hopefully this has been helpful. If you got questions or comments, please put them in the chat. We'd love to have them. And what we're going to eventually do is we're going to take this to a live chat room, and we'll be able to also do Zoom. And we've got some ideas on how to move this thing down the road. But for right now, what we're doing is we're trying to set a foundation. It's important to set a foundation so everyone will understand what it is that we're bringing forth, so that not everyone's going to have an ear to hear. This is not for everyone. And if it's not for you, it's not for you. Some folks, I'm not talking to you. But he that had an ear will hear me. I'm talking to you. I want to hear from you. Let's talk. Let's exchange. Let's grow. Let's expand. Let's extend. Let's elevate together. And as we do that, we'll become greater and greater. Remember that? Yeah. Great support, right? Great purpose, great opportunity, great transformation. Dr. G. Alpha Palmer. Peace.